let them know that Abraham Lincoln did not free black people.
Hi, everybody. Auntie speaks. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me get out to more people. So, we're going to talk about this lovely gentleman who says that Lincoln did not free the slaves. And that you need to check yourself and you need to check your children if they're being taught this in school. Not only that, he's got a lot of other crazy things that he wants to make sure that if your children are being taught this, you need to correct it right now.
3 Black history facts your child needs to know going into this school year. Number 1, let them know that Columbus did not discover America. I know you know this, but you got to check with your kids because they're likely still learning this in school.
Of course, Christopher Columbus. Everybody hates Christopher Columbus. You know, why didn't he discover America, sir? We do consider North America and South America to be the Americas, but why didn't he discover America? You tell us.
My kids were taught this, so instead you need to let them know that indigenous people were already here. And they had civilized societies. And they had bronze skin.
Okay. So he doesn't have a problem with Christopher Columbus because he was trying to get to India and China. No. His problem is that he didn't discover it because there was already people here. Yes, there was already people here. Yes, that is true. And yes, you could say that they had a society. But the world, meaning the known world at that time for most people, was Europe, India, China, Russia. That was it. They thought that was it. They thought that was all there was. Until this crazy guy said, I can go around the whole world. It's not flat, it's round. And then he hits an entire new continent. So he did discover it for the Western and Eastern world. The East didn't go around and find California either. Okay? So yes, Christopher Columbus found, quote unquote, America.
And they likely interacted with black folks first. Look up Abu Bakr. And yeah, let them know about that indigenous genocide and how that led to the enslavement of black folks.
The first person that they would have met was not Columbus. It was some black person. Dude, seriously. I agree with you. It probably wasn't Christopher Columbus, the first person who landed here. A lot of people now believe it was probably a Viking because they were the only people who sailed long distances and they kind of made it halfway through to Greenland. So a lot of people think that they probably moved on and hit the Americas. But who is this gentleman you're talking about? A citation, please. Okay, and genocide. Okay. Genocide has a connotation of purpose behind it. There was not a purposeful genocide of the American Indian. Okay? Or the people of South America. Now, I'm only going to talk about North America because I do believe people in South America were treated a little bit differently, and I'll tell you why they were treated a little bit differently. But in North America, most of the Indians who died from diseases that they did not have contact from. So the only way that could never happen is if those two cultures had never met. And I'm sorry, dude, at some time in the last 400 years, 500 years, somebody would have landed there. It could have been Africans who landed there. They would have given them the same diseases because Africans had domesticated animals, as far as I know. Indians did not. And when you don't have domesticated animals, you're not exposed to as many diseases as you are when you do. Look up smallpox and plague and so on and so forth, okay? All of those came from animals, all righty? And the genocide of Indians led to slavery. I mean, seriously, you have to be the dumbest person on the face of the earth to believe that. You really, really do. Slavery was not an American concept, and the American Indians had slaves. American Indians slaved African Americans.
Unlike most African Americans who were freed by the end of the Civil War, your ancestors weren't.
They couldn't get it right.
Well,
They just stuck to it.
well, somebody didn't get it right, but it wasn't your ancestors, it was the people who owned them. Take a look at this.
Chickasaw Nation Freedmen Roll.
This document is an official enrollment card for the Chickasaw freedmen, the former slaves owned by the Chickasaw Nation.
Owned by the Chickasaw Nation.
Owned by the Chickasaw Nation. Your ancestors were enslaved by Native Americans. You are one of the few African Americans who was not enslaved by white people, enslaved by Native Americans.
I don't know how I feel about that. It's
Hello? Did you know that? Did you know that when after the Civil War was won, and we freed the slaves, Indians still had black free slaves? Yeah. Oh, that doesn't work along with your narrative, right? Because they're brown, so brown has to be good and white has to be bad. This is CRT. It melts your brain. And you can't think. You can't look at A plus B equals C. Because A plus B never equals C. If A is white and B is black, then they can never equal something. It's disgusting.
Number 2, let them know that the people who crafted the Constitution and Declaration of Independence were mostly pro-slavery and also mostly enslaved black folks.
The stupidity of this person is just overwhelming. Yeah. Technically, he is correct. Here's a list of the founding fathers, or what we consider our founding fathers, and the non-slave holders versus people who had owned slaves at some time. Doesn't even mean that at the founding of the country that they owned slaves, just that they had at some time. I mean, my goodness, Benjamin Franklin is on this list, and he was a huge abolitionist. That they owned slaves in the 1700s was not unusual for the world at that time. What was unusual at the founding of the country was the huge debate that went on to abolish slavery. That was unusual. Before Wilberforce in Britain and America, nobody questioned the wrongness of slavery and how evil it was. It just was. Every culture on the face of the earth owned slaves, even those lovely indigenous people who you think were so awesome. You know, one of the reasons why they were massacred by the Spaniards in South America, was because the first time that they saw them, they were cutting out a bunch of people's hearts. And whose hearts were they cutting out? Slaves. Slaves. Slavery was not unusual. What was unusual is the abolition of slavery.
Number 1, let them know that Abraham Lincoln did not free black people. My daughter was taught this in kindergarten. Yes, he crafted the Emancipation Proclamation after being cajoled by black folks like Frederick Douglass, but our freedom was contingent upon winning the war, so we freed ourselves and saved the country.
I feel very sorry for your children. If you took your kindergartner aside and corrected her that Abraham Lincoln did not free the slaves, I feel sorry for your daughter. I feel very sorry for your daughter. 600,000 people died during the Civil War. The Civil War was about slavery. White people laid down their lives for a beautiful idea that everybody should be free. That we should not judge people by the color of their skin. Just like you who think that the Indians were awesome because they had brown skin, right? They have brown skin. When they own slaves, it's not a problem. No. It's only the white people who have white skin. When they died and sacrificed to free your ancestors, they didn't do anything. Oh, no. It was the small minority of African Americans who also fought in the war to free the Southern slaves. They're the only ones that matter. You fought for your own freedom, did you? Did you fight for your own freedom? You know, it's like the feminist debate. Who gave women the right to vote? Was it women who gave women the right to vote? No. It was a bunch of white men. I don't knock those white men. They gave me the right to vote. It's awesome. Great. Yay, I could vote. But I don't pretend that it was the suffragist movement that did the right thing. No, it was a bunch of men. Did the suffragists help? Sure. Did the abolitionists help? Yes. Frederick Douglass, all of the abolitionists, yes, they helped. Yes. But Abraham Lincoln, a Republican, and the Republican Party freed the slaves. Okay, guys, this is getting a little long. All right, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Please tell me below. This guy is crazy, and let me know if you see more guys like this out here, and send them to me if you can find more for me. Alrighty, we'll see you on the next one.